Good morning, good day, good evening. This is Jay of Not a Frying Pan Gaming, and today we are taking a look at a custom-built deck. We are looking at a budget miracle deck. Now, this deck is not what you see there. It actually is going to be a little bit different. So much so that I'm going to start this video over. Note to self, cut this part out. New deck list. New deck. Tis a road. Next step. Gold blood. Mr. Struck. One Elven Archer. One Gold Shirefoot. Eviscerate. Sap. Shiv. Defias. Frostwolf. This. Fan. Gnomish. And of course, Gadget. Okay. Alright, starting over. Good morning, good day, good evening. This is Jay with Not a Frying Pan Gaming, and today we're taking a look at another custom deck. Today we're going to be taking a look at what I call the Budget Miracle. It is a rogue deck that closely emulates the Miracle that you will see on Ladder, however it is cheap. It's basically a deck for beginners. With my current setup, it's actually 540 gold? No, 450 gold. A little bit of Listexia there. 450 gold, and you could actually cut a little bit out of that by taking a few cards out, but the majority of the cost comes in the bread and butter, which is that Gadgetzan Auctioneer. That's what really makes a miracle deck. So we got to kind of keep that in. That's 200. The others, 250, not a big deal. So, to start with, you can see I've got my deck list in the bottom right corner there, and that is the same as what I have here under Budget Miracle. So, Backstab, Cold Blood, Deadly Poison, Sinister Strike, etc., etc. Now, the whole point of this deck is that you are trying to cycle through your whole deck to deal damage to your opponent directly. It's not going to last very long against a lot of rush decks, unfortunately, but it does do very well, I've found, against priests. I have a deck guide up on Hearthhead, and I will link to that down in the description. So you'll be able to see a little bit about what I'm talking about as I'm going through here. Now we'll go ahead and we'll go into casual mode and play a couple of games. Let's see here. Budget Miracle. Casual, and we're off. Now, with this game, or with this deck, you're going to want to try to get a good starting hand. You don't want to get behind, which really with as many 1 and 2 mana spells and minions, there's not really any way to get behind. And actually, 24 of the 30 cards in this deck are 2 mana or below. That is crazy to think about. But you have so much card draw once you get your Auctioneer out that it's not going to be a problem. So to start with, you're going to want to have removal, a taunt, and something you can deal damage with.
I will fight with honor.
So let's take a look here.
Your back.
Alright. So removal, taunt, and something to deal damage with. Right away, I can't play this because I don't have any minions to put it on. Fan of Knives, while the card draw is nice, it's not something you want to have in your opening hand. It is removal, but it's not turn 1 removal. Sap is not great. I would prefer to have something else, like Backstab to start with, but Sap will work. Hopefully we don't need it. So let's go ahead and get started. Ringleader, and there's that Fan of Knives again. Alright, this is not going to be a great start, but we do have a Novice, so we can pass and put that Novice out on turn 2 to get another card. Ideally, you start with Coin and Defias. You can drop your Coin, Defias, and have a 2/2 and a 2/1 on turn 1. So we're going to go ahead and do this.
I hope you like my invention.
See what we get. Sinister Strike. That's not bad. That's one you're going to want to save until you have your Auctioneer out, though. The only problem that you run into when you're playing turn 2, and that's going to be an issue. So when you're playing turn 2, you drop the Defias, Ringleader, after a Coin, you're going to have a major issue with keeping them both alive.
Oh, if you're sure.
Shiv is also a very good early game removal because, again, it draws a card, does that damage, and there we go. We've got another Novice Engineer. So as you can see, even in the early game, this the card draw is not going to be a problem. We're going to get plenty of cards in our hand. Alright. So what's he going to do here? He's going to play a secret. Not a lot that we need to worry about with that. There's that Auctioneer, so we're ready to go on turn, well, 6. We don't really want to put him out there and, you know, feed him to the dogs on or the tigers, panther in this case. But we will go ahead and play another Engineer. There's another Fan of Knives. Worst possible value.
This is our time.
And we'll get that Defias Ringleader out. Start applying some pressure. So now he does not want to trade his Panther with any of our minions because it is a horrible value for him. Realistically, he doesn't even want to go to face because he wants to get better value out of his Panther
What you want?
than he would get from just doing 4 damage to it.
Reporting for duty.
Alright. Oh, but he does anyway. Well, that's going to be a good trade for us. Alright. We're still running a little on the not good side. I don't want to play that again because he's burned his stealth. This would be a really good play if I could use both of my Fan of Knives, but looks like that's not going to work out. So I think what we'll do
You're looking at me.
is... See, this is where this deck gets a little bit tricky. Because you don't want to waste any cards, but you want to try to trigger your combo. So let's do... We're not going to be able to play Fan of Knives for a while, and we've got another one in hand. Let's do that. We can do...
Too soon.
That's followed by Defias, followed by
If you're sure.
here, and then we're going to try to draw out some removal from the opponent. And look at that. This game is now in our favor. We have a little bit of a health disadvantage, but we have a card advantage, and we have definite board advantage. Consecrate, yeah, there we go, Consecration. That's not a great play for us, but it also gets rid of that for later on. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Eviscerate is a pretty good card. However, for right now, we're going to go ahead and do a Gadget and a Sinister Strike. Oh, into a Backstab. Okay. Well, now we've got a bunch of removal, a bunch of damage, and if he leaves it alive for another turn, we could actually do straight up 8 damage with that. So for now, we're going to end our turn, sit back, and see what he plays. Now, if he plays a minion that can't kill that right away, we're going to play Backstab. And there we go. He used his whole turn just to get rid of the Auctioneer, and that's what we're... Huh. Okay, that is even better, because now we're going to start cycling, and this is what makes a Miracle deck miraculous. Alright. I can do that. Now I can Sinister Strike. And if I wanted to, I could have played the other one and gotten 2 cards each, but we're not going to be that greedy. Let's go ahead and do Eviscerate to his face. So we've got 2 deadly poisons. What we could do is we could bring up our daggers. Deadly poison for 5, 9. Or we could do daggers, deadly poison for 3, cold blood for 11. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to deadly poison first in case we get another Eviscerate. Ooh, that'll be good for next turn. Cold blood here. Smack him in the face. Hit him in the face again. And this is something that you'll want to get used to. When you're playing as a Miracle Rogue, your turns are going to take a while. That being said, this is pretty much how games usually go. It's going to feel bad in the beginning, but it'll be worth it by the end of the game. And that was a huge mistake because I have 3 damage right here. He can't do anything about it.
The victory is yours.
Well played. And he knew that. Don't know what he was hoping for there, but obviously he did not get it. So that's about as good as one of these games could have gone. You got to see the full potential of that miraculous card draw. You see, everything is cheap, so if you get your Auctioneer out, and if you get 2 out, you can do a whole ton of stuff in one turn. I don't recommend putting both Auctioneers out, particularly against a mage, because that is horrible, horrible Flame Strike bait. But it's usually pretty good. The other reason you don't want to have 2 out is because you will overdraw. And you really don't want to burn any of your cards because you have a limited amount of damage that you can do. You might accidentally burn an Eviscerate or an Inventor, or really all of these cards are pretty critical to this deck. So let's go and see how it looks up against the ranked competition at rank 15. I don't think this is going to do particularly well on ranked, but we'll see. It may do better than I would have hoped. Alright. So it looks like I am going to get the perfect start against the Warlock. This is going to be good. Alright. So we get the... wow, I read that wrong. Oh, there's the Defias ringleader. So we get the Defias. We get removal. So we want damage. which we have. We want removal, which we have. And we want taunt, which we have. So this is about as good of a starting hand as we can get. Oh, and that makes it even better, particularly keeping in mind we get the coin. So hopefully he's just going to pass.
The light protects me.
Okay. Not great. So we're going to lose something. Because we don't want to just coin Shiv, because that's just burning 2 cards for a Divine Shield on a 1/1 minion. It is not worth it. Definitely could coin Eviscerate, but we kind of want to save that. And I'm not real keen on coin Ringleader, just because of it's guaranteeing we're going to lose one right away. So this presents an interesting challenge. So instead of doing coin Defias, let's do coin Frostwolf. So hopefully he will smack that and pop his bubble. And then on turn 2, we can backstab Defias and basically be home free. And he does. Okay. Oh, and he Mortal Coiled. Alright. So probably then we'll want to just do this. Actually, yeah, do that. This looks to me like it is a pretty pretty certainly a zoo warlock. So we do not want to let him get board control. So we've got another Shiv. If we need to, we can pop our daggers, and we can drop Defias. We've got a lot of answers to his rush.
Put this apple on your head.
Okay. Gonna do anything with it? There's the Fan of Knives. Okay. So we're 1 mana short, and I don't really want to use my Eviscerate. But you know what?
So many options.
You're absolutely right, Valera. There are so many options. I am going to go ahead and use that.
Job's done.
If you read the write-up that I have posted at the link below in the description, that's one of the things that I talk about. Try to use your combos as best you can,
This apple on your
but
head.
don't be afraid. Of course, he uses...
I'll put round on it.
but don't be afraid to use cards without the combo. Alright, so what can we do here? We want to get rid of as much as possible. So I think can't really do a lot. Although he can't heal anything.
I wonder.
This is a tough matchup. I haven't ever really beaten Zoo before, so this is a particularly interesting matchup for me.
So many options.
Let's try to get a card out of this. And we want to get rid of the Nifty Knife Juggler first, just because that tends to be, if you leave it on the board, it's going to be a problem. And we'll just smack it with our face. That's another thing you're going to find yourself doing pretty often. Unfortunately, removal is a little limited in this deck, until you can swap out some cards for some of the more expensive ones. That hurts. Okay. So, yeah. Don't have charge. what I can do is I can do Fan of Knives and draw a
So
card.
many options.
I've got 2 mana left. We've used both of our shivs. What would I be hoping for? Well, probably a Deadly Poison. Fan of Knives, Deadly Poison would get rid of that, but that still does the damage. Maybe we get another one and we can use it next turn. Well, worst case scenario, Fan of Knives. We put down a taunt. Yeah, that's not great. Okay. Fan of Knives.
Here we go.
Do that. Put down a taunt so that at the very least we'll make it unappealing for him to trade. So if he attacks that, he's going to lose it. However, I'm sure he's got a 2 damage removal card in his hand. Demon Fire would be a pretty good card. Or maybe he's got nothing. I am shocked at that outcome. Not a smart play unless he's... No, he really should have done his life tap before trading, because he might have gotten something he could use and saved his... Wow, I guess I just don't know what he's doing. Alright, now that we're starting to get some mana, we can start kind of flooding the board.
This is our town, scrub.
Here we go.
We can start focusing on doing damage to the face. Now, we'll see what he's got in his hand. He's got 4 cards now, so that's decent. We really do need to start getting some card draw going. We've got both of our Auctioneers, so if we get a 2 mana spell, which we've got quite a few of left. Actually, well, below 2 mana anyway. Wow. Wow, what a misplay. He could have attacked with his own his wolf first. This guy, I just do not know what he is doing. Okay. So we can put out the Auctioneer now. Sap, and see what we get. Alright.
Here we go.
Now the miracle begins. If he stays alive, great. We've got 2 cards that we can use and we'll get more. If not, we can still drop the Auctioneer and Fan of Knives to get 2 more cards out of it. I'm betting he's not going to survive, but I've seen this guy do weirder things. And again, here we are in a pretty decent position. We've got board presence, we're only at a slight health disadvantage, and we are at a card disadvantage, but that's likely going to change quickly.
You shall not pass.
My shield for Argus!
Huh. He left it alone. So, we're going to do Fan of Knives. Get 2 cards out of it. Oh, wish I would have had that first. Well, let's just keep drawing. Okay. That'll work. Okay.
Time to pay.
And just like that, we've got better board presence, we're ahead in life, and we're way ahead in cards. Now, I could have used the Eviscerate on his face and done 4 more damage, but I would have left something on the board. And against Zoo, I would much rather take that extra taunt off the board, then get the extra 4 damage to the face. There's not likely much that he's going to be able to do that will kill me in one turn, particularly with only 3 cards, so I'm not too worried about that. Now, if he keeps this alive, which would be really stupid of him, basically, we're pretty close to having won at that point. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened.
Almost out of time.
Huh. Maybe he's AFK. It is very uncommon to see the fuse against a zoo block like this. He must have gone away. I'm okay with that. That pretty much means that we've won this game. So, what do we draw? We're going to try to get maximum card draw. So we want to put down
Hope you like my invention.
this. I know this sounds goofy, but we're going to backstab that because we're just trying to draw cards at this point. Okay. We are down to what, 7? 6. 6 cards. Cold Blood, 2 Deadly Poisons, a Sap, and a Novice Engineer, and a Gnomish Inventor. Well, let's draw another card. Odds are... Ugh. Odds are supposed to be good. Okay.
Too soon.
Well, I can't play that because I don't have my weapons out. So let's do this. At this point, we're just rushing. So, next turn, probably we'll have to put down a the other Auctioneer, pop our weapons, use Blade Flurry, Deadly Poison. Although, again, looks like he's gone AFK, which probably means that we win. Ah, no, he's back. He is looking at a card. Well, what am I talking about? If he doesn't kill the Auctioneer, we win. And actually... Okay. Yep, there's that other Deadly Poison. So there's 3 cards left in the deck. Let's just have some fun.
I'm almost out of cards.
This is the problem. Alright. Drop our Cold Blood.
I'm out of cards.
Alright. We drew through every card in our deck by turn 10. So just like that.
Here we go.
I'll give it a shot.
Toss a
Well
well played. And we just beat a Zoolock. Now the nice thing about this is that most of the Miracle Rogues you'll see run Leroy Jenkins and Shadowstone. We don't need those to win on the ladder. If you can beat a zoo, you can beat probably 60% of what you will go up against on the ladder here. It's unfortunate, but that's sort of the case. So take a look at the link in the description so you can see the deck and you can see exactly what sort of strategy goes along with it. However, obviously, you've seen pretty much how it works. Even if you don't get a great start, if they don't take you out quickly, they're in trouble. So there's a couple of cards here. We'll go over the construction of the deck. Let's see. So some of the cards that you could take out if you didn't want the extra cost, or that you can work your way up towards. Cold Blood. It's a common card as opposed to a basic card, which means that it costs 40. Let's see here. Oops. Eviscerate is also a common as opposed to a basic, so that's another 40 dust. Defias Ringleader, again, 40. And since we've got 2 of each, that's 8 times 3. I think I know this by now. It's 24. So you've got 240 dust here. Everything else, except for the auctioneer, everything else is a basic card. So you've got your So you've got your 200 dust here, if you haven't ever gotten an auctioneer in a pack. And then 240 between the Cold Blood, the Eviscerate, and the Defias Ringleader. And that's it. That's all it takes to win on the ladder. So, I hope you have found this helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, concerns. As always, you can find me at youtube.com/JoeCloud31. That's JOCLOUD 31. That's here. Twitch.tv/JoeCloud31. Twitter.com, Facebook.com, and impeopled.com/JoeCloud31. I would like to go ahead and give a shout out to my pals over at Impeopled. They're going to be doing another tournament starting August 16th. That is a Saturday. I believe it is supposed to start at noon Central Time for the NA server. You can go over to impeopled.com. If you have an account, fantastic. Go on over to the Hearthstone topic. If you don't have an account, sign up is quick and easy. And all you have to do is click on a link to enter into that tournament. First place gets $150 and gets a spot on the upcoming impeopled.com Hearthstone team. So I hope to see you there. I'll be in it myself. I'll be streaming on my channel. And if you stick around for the finals, I'll be probably streaming those as well. So, once again, head over to hearthhead.com, the link in the description. Take a look at my deck guide and give it a rate, if you would. That's all for today. Have a good one.